Wyther Farms, Episode 3, with Precision Farming DLC and the Seasons mod. Welcome back to Wyther Farms, guys. I'm EPiCJERNi, and I'm sitting over here on Field 30, where I've planted cotton. We're using Precision Farming DLC and the Seasons mod. There are some interesting things to learn, of course, and we're working all that out. This is kind of interesting, this little spot that I have here. So we're going to get into explaining what this means. We have a little bit of an experiment we're going to run. We're going to talk about the data that I deleted in the last episode from the Precision Farming menu, and we're going to start with getting some animals, I think, today. So anyway, let's get right into this. Okay, so, oh man, this is interesting. Let me cut this off. Let's go turn our help menu on. This is interesting. So, we are driving on our field 30, where we've planted cotton. And it says we have reached our target for kilograms of nitrogen per hectare, right? It's 100. So, if you remember the data that we talked about in episode 2, cotton's ideal or target fertilizer level, kilograms of nitrogen per hectare for this soil type, which is silty clay, is 100, based off the data that we found. Now, this field is comprised of two different soil types. It is, let's go look, silty clay and loam. So, loam, the target level for cotton is 120 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare. So there's a possibility that this area may not be there. So if you remember, this field had a default nitrogen level. We added manure, which was 60 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare, and now we have that. We planted, and this is where we're at. This is where our field's at. So it looks as if, alright, we're around the 100 mark through most of this, right? And as you remember, this is all loam, and this needs to be at 120, right? Well, some of it's not. Now, some of it is, little spots. So it looks like we may be able to fertilize a strip here, and make this all go to 100. And if you notice, that curve follows this soil type change. So all of this inside of that darker green right there is going to need to be up to 120. So it looks like we're going to be able to fertilize just this spot and then all of that. Now, I can go up and down this field, and apparently it's letting me spray, but it's not doing anything. It's not adding. Sometimes it's letting me spray. Says maybe there's a spot here or there that's not showing up on the map that's not correct. So let's pull up our map here. Why is it not showing my fertilizer level on the map? Oh, there we go. So I should definitely be able to spray through here, because all of this should be at 120 kilograms per hectare, and it's not. You see, and it says I'm adding 20 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare there on our meter in the controls menu. Now I'm adding 40, so this is really low through that little area. And if you look at the mini map, it's erasing that orange. So that's the goal. So what I'm getting at with all this is, you don't have to. It seems as if you don't have to do the whole field on certain crops on your second application, because remember, manure was a straight application of a specific amount of kilograms per hectare. I'm gonna go touch up this little spot down here, and then our second layer of fertilizer is more about bringing the fertilizer to the proper levels for that crop, for the specific soil type. Yeah, so this is where we're at right now. This is where we're at. I really hope that everybody enjoyed episode 2. I know that it was a lot of information, and yeah, hopefully it wasn't too overwhelming. I probably said that several times during the last episode, but I really wanted to talk about things in such a way that everybody could kind of understand it, and then show you the data, but then also reinforce the, you know, the fact that this really isn't as complicated as it seems. Now I know this is a really weird way for me to do this. It's probably not the most efficient, but here we are. I could set off a worker. I'm not really sure how that would work. I will say, as far as planning goes, all the planning that I did, the workers did a great job. They did fantastic. Yeah, of course, they still missed spots and, you know, didn't complete the field. Like, they were leaving parts on the end and stuff so they could turn around. And, you know, it's not GPS. They're not using GPS to navigate their way around the field. But I felt like they did really well. I have planted I went ahead and planted the crops that we talked about, which was canola, barley, and then cotton in this field. I specifically went with cotton because I really like harvesting cotton, for one, on the game, but also cotton has a low nitrogen level, and I was like, okay, well, you know, if most of this field's sitting at 40 and I'm adding 60 with the manure, how is that going to work out when I go to add layer number 2? Which, here we are. You don't have to fertilize the whole field. You know, I could drive up and down this field. I'd be wasting time. So I'm just going to get it the best I can. And, you know, you guys just remember that with precision farming, the soil isn't perfect, and neither is, you know, your applications. See, it actually let me add to my, well, you know what? It's saying, oh yeah, this is all needs to be 120, huh? Let's look at this. Am I doing this right? Talking like I know what I'm talking about, but am I actually doing it right? Yeah, no, I need to keep fertilizing. All of this needs to be 120. That's right. Okay. So, I screwed that up. Let me get this going. But yeah, episode 2. It was a good time. Learned a lot. This episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to do as many cuts and stuff like that. I'm just going to play a little bit more. You know, so you'll see there'll be long sections of us talking about what's going on and stuff. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm good. So let's go over here and try to get this edge worked out. Let's try to work in this edge right here. Let's see. What else did I want to cover? Oh, guys, the data. I don't know if you noticed it earlier when I was looking at the menu, but remember the data that I deleted? If you don't remember the data that I deleted, I'm going to cut right here and show you guys where I literally deleted the data while recording. Let's check that out. So here we are with our nitrogen levels, okay? Oh, I just reset all that data. Okay, so that clip was from the last episode where I deleted the precision farming data for the field. Guys, I swear to you, I deleted it. It was gone. I loaded the game back in. Now it's back. I have all of the data that I deleted by pressing L3. Back. It's back. And there's been no updates to the game that I know of. So I'm really curious as to how that works now. So now you can see all the data. I did 70 soil samples between these two fields. I put 96,000 liters of lime between these two fields. Mineral fertilizer, I'm already at 3,000 liters, and I'm still pushing more. I still have this section to cover. Actually, I'll have to go through there too. Manure, 111,000 liters of manure. Seed, 7,000 liters of seed, and it's telling you how much all that stuff is costing, okay? So at this point, with average numbers ran, based off the situation we had in the last episode, it's cost me about $44,000. Now, I did not purchase the lime, as we talked about in the last episode. Lime is free on Wyther Farm, so I didn't purchase the lime, so that's $21,000. So really about half that. So I'm $23,000 in the hole on this field, just prepping, and that's not counting the herbicide I'm going to have to put on it eventually, and what I'm going to have to put on it in fertilizer now. So there's that. That yeah, was interesting for sure. So with that being said, I did go ahead and throw down some manure on the grass field. So if you notice, it's a little bit higher on, I don't know why it's not, why is it 40 and 60? No, it's 60 and this spot's 40. Whatever, this must be really bad. Let's look at it. Soil type is sandy loam. I don't know what's up with that. I don't think I missed anything. But either way, we're going to do some experimenting with the grass. Because if you remember from the last episode, grass had that always allow fertilization true in the code from the data mine. So I'm going to see if we can add lime, because I haven't added lime to that. The pH levels are still bad. Okay, so I'm going to see if we can add lime in its current state. Alright, let's actually go over there. Let's go to field 29 real quick. Alright, here we go. We're looking at it. pH value is bad. I have not put lime on this field, but I did put manure. I don't know if you can tell. You should be able to see it. And the nitrogen is still bad in most places because grass needs 200 kilograms per hectare for this soil type right here. And it looks like 180 for the other one. But either way, I'm going to see if the game's going to let me lime, and then in the next grass state, or growth state, my bad, if it will let me fertilize. So, we'll see. I don't know if it's going to let me lime over this manure, but I do know that you can lime and then fertilize over your lime without changing the ground state in the base game. So, you know, just a little bit of an experiment. So we're going to do that. And also I'm going to throw a cow shed and probably a sheep pen out on this field too. So not only is this going to be a grass field, but it's going to have our animals. It's going to host our animals as well. So I'm sitting here thinking, you know, am I doing this the right way? I have no idea. I don't, you know, I'm at the point with precision farming and the stuff that's new about the game with it that I don't know what the right way is. You know, there's a lot of questions to be answered for sure, and I'm definitely not going to be able to, you know, answer all of them. But I'm, you know, it seems as if I'm getting the soil to the correct pH level and nitrogen level for the crop. You know, based off the soil type and the situation that's given. So hopefully this will all turn out great. I think it will. Let's take a glance. And I know it looks spotty and messy, but if you notice, like right in front of me, you see that spot that's kind of just crooked, screwed up, whatever. If you look at the map down in the bottom left, it's all green. That's another thing I've noticed about precision farming. You don't see those little spots where you miss spots on your map or in the menu, so it's not that big of a deal. But the nitrogen level here is 120, so it's perfect. Now, right, where was that spot? It just showed me a spot. It was like 200. And it's going to be spotty. See, even here it shows that it's perfect, and I didn't hit that spot. So, yep. See, nitrogen bad. It's saying it needs to be 200 through there for some reason. Maybe that's just where my tire tracks are. Yeah, it's where my tire tracks are. That's weird, huh? Okay, whatever. But yeah, I mean, you know, we'll see how it works out. I know that none of this stuff is perfect, so, you know, it's a trial and error thing. It's the reason why we're doing this. Alright guys, I am done. I ended with 45 liters of fertilizer left. It was perfect, man. So let's actually get rid of this. We're going to take a look at the field. Okay, don't puke. Get a bucket. Look at that. It looks like a mess, dude. It looks like the first time I let my 11-year-old son fertilize a field, right? It looks like absolute garbage. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. With precision farming, this doesn't matter that much. This is what matters. That's what matters. Let's take a look. What this precision farming menu matters. Okay, we have our soil types, silty clay and loam on this field. This is cotton. Now remember, cotton's a little bit different than the other crops. A lot of the other crops require 160, 180 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare. Cotton only requires 100 and 120 for these soil types, right? So it's going to be a little bit different. And that's what's cool, is every crop is different, right? So if you look at this, our pH levels are good. It looks great. Look at the nitrogen levels. Guys, it looks fantastic. I mean, yeah, there's some little edge spots that's weird. I'm not really sure what's up with that. And there's a little speck there and a speck here. Maybe a little speck there too, huh? But either way, it looks really good, especially compared to when you look at the actual field itself. So this is all 100 kilograms on our silty clay, and then our loam is sitting at 120, and then a little bit more silty clay over here is at 100. And like I said, that's the way it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's one thing we learned with precision farming. Don't worry about all this. If it looks good on the map, if you're using the mini map when you're spreading your lime or your fertilizer and everything looks good, then you're doing okay. See, it looks perfect on my map there. So yeah, that's definitely interesting, and I hope that helps. I hope this information helps you guys and helps you understand what's going on, because it's definitely a lot to learn. Look at this crap. I didn't even do a second pass on all of this part of the field. It was already good from the first pass, because cotton has such a low nitrogen requirement. Okay guys, I'm done rambling about fertilizer and nitrogen levels. Okay, if you have any questions about that stuff though, seriously, put a comment down below. Just let me know what you think. Let me know what your questions are. Let's talk about the holidays. I hope everyone had a great Christmas holiday, if you celebrate. And then also, I'm hoping to get this video out before the new year. So I want to say this. I hope everyone has a great New Year's Eve and New Year's. And we're definitely hoping for a better year in 2021. So with that being said, let's move on and start putting down some animal pens, dude. I want to get some cows. I brought a modded pen in that I want to use. Okay. Alright, I have the game saved. I am going to place it right here. Let's do it. Boom. That looks fantastic. Okay, so now let's do sheep. We're going to do a sheep pasture. But with my sheep, I'm just going to do the open pasture. I'm going to do this guy. And I don't know if I should do it down here. Should I put it down here and just have like this whole area down here be animals? Or should I separate them and put it up here somewhere? Yeah, let's break them. Let's break them up. Let's break them up. Let's do right here. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Sweet. I'm not really sure what that's going to do to my growth for all the grass and stuff, but this looks great, man. This looks great. Hopefully one of these is feed and one's water. Usually they're different shapes, but it doesn't look like they are, so that's kind of weird. I know there's a way we can turn off. I think it's the bucket. If we hit square or something, circle maybe. It'll have like the posts for the boundaries. Anyway, whatever. I like this one because it has a nice little manure bunker. And I like the look. It's nice and open too. It's kind of cool. So hopefully that works out great. Let's go check out the sheep pasture. Alright, we are here at the sheep pasture. Everything looks good. Yup. We got water, food. See, the food trough over there is supposed to be a different shape. So I'm really hoping that it's got a food trough, because it seems that there was only a water trough over there. But anyway, I'm probably going to cut down some of these hedges so that way I have like a straighter path to get here with the tractor or something later on. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet, but either way, this is it. I'm going to go ahead and put them down, and I guess the next thing we'll do is run our little experiment with the lime and whatnot on this field. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, I got some lime loaded up. Let's take this down to the field and see if it's going to let us put lime down. I think 1 bucket should do it. What do you guys think? Yeah, that should be plenty. Alright, let's see what's going to happen here. I'm pretty sure it's going to allow me to put down lime. Alright, actually, you know what? Let's pop this up. We are help menu 2, probably. No, we don't need help menu. Not for lime, we don't. So it is allowing us to put down lime to improve the pH levels of the field. So that's good. Because clearly when you start a game on seasons and there's a grass field, that grass is already growing. Unless you plow it in, unless you take the time to plow it all up and replant, you kind of skip a few stages in the process. So what I'm trying to do basically is see, is it going to allow me to do everything I need to do to get the best harvest off of this, or cut really, off of this grass field without having to plow this entire field up. So that's the goal. Let's see if it will let us put another layer of fertilizer on after we put the lime on without skipping to another growth state. Okay, so I'm going to see if it'll let me do fertilizer immediately after this lime. It's probably not going to, but anyway, I'm going to get the field limed and get a load of fertilizer, and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, so that first load was not nearly enough lime. This should be enough, like half a bucket to fill this up. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up the spreader. I think this should be plenty. We'll see, we'll see. This bucket and this trailer or spreader do not really work well together, to be honest. You have to actually touch the top of the spreader with the bucket, and then look, then it overflows. Whatever, dude. So getting back to the food trough here for the cow pen, I did a little bit of testing, and there is a food trough and a water trough there. They're just the same shape, which is abnormal. Usually they're different shapes, but we'll get more to that whenever I actually purchase cows, and we'll get that stuff going. Well, I am getting ready to throw down some fertilizer, get this nitrogen levels up, and just one note going ahead, we have silty clay and sandy loam in this field, and the appropriate nitrogen level in kilograms per hectare for sandy or silty clay is 200 kilograms per hectare, and for sandy loam I believe it's 180, and we'll see all that when we get in our tractor. In the top left, our little help menu, as soon as we start pulling onto the field, we should see that change to the correct amount. The question is this: is it going to let me fertilize? I've already thrown down manure, I've already thrown down lime, and I haven't changed the soil. There's been no growth state change. The grass has not grown. So will it let me fertilize as well? We're about to find out. So now it should detect values. There, it has detected the values, and it says increasing the nitrogen level to the optimal level of grass on silty clay, and that is, as you see with the little checkered flag, is 200 kilograms per hectare. So, which I think is the max. And grass needs a lot of nitrogen. So let's see, L1 and square, and it does. It is going to let me fertilize. I actually didn't put a lot of fertilizer in here because I didn't know if this was going to work. But it is going to let me fertilize on top of everything that I've already done. Okay, and if you remember, think back to the charts that I showed you guys from the data that was pulled in the data mine on precision farming. Okay, it was set to always allow fertilization for grass and some other crops like sugarcane and I forget the other ones, but Yeah, always allow fertilization is on for grass. So that is, I believe, why we're able to do this. Now, with that being said, it may even allow you to push this beyond. So like right now I'm on that sandy loam, and it just needs 180 kilograms. So if you notice, the checkered flag is not all the way at 200. I'm missing some on the edge here. There we go. It may let you put even more nitrogen on and push it to the 200 mark, but you don't want to do that for most crops anyway. Now, of course, as we talked, some of them will allow you to over fertilize without a penalty. Again, that was on the charts in episode 2. If you haven't seen episode 2, you're watching this, you might want to go back and check it out. I'm going to do my best to put these videos together. I think I'm going to make a playlist for these videos just so people can find all the stuff in one place, right? So anyway, let's get this knocked out. But yeah, it's going to let me do it. So this field is going to be completely prepped for a full cut with, it seems, maximum yield for the ground that's here. So that's going to be kind of cool. So just so you know, you can do all this to a grass field in the same growth state. Very interesting stuff. Alright, almost done here. So I want to make a point about something I said earlier. Will it let you over fertilize, basically? And the spot down there, the sandy loam where it only needs 180 kilograms per hectare, will it let you over fertilize? Yes and no. Okay, so it won't let you over fertilize with this, with mineral fertilizer or liquid fertilizer. Okay, and the reason why is because mineral fertilizer and liquid fertilizer, if you remember, are set to fertilize to the target for that crop in that soil. Okay, versus if I went and got manure right now and took it out there down here where it's 180 kilograms per hectare, and I threw down manure right here, it would put 60 kilograms per hectare of nitrogen on this. It would, and you'll over fertilize because manure and slurry and digestate are not set to optimize the amount of nitrogen per the crop and the soil type. They're just set to add 60 or 80 or whatever it is per soil type. It's actually varies. But anyway, again, all that data was in episode 2. We talked about it, but we've learned a little bit here. And now we have a grass field that's going to be fully ready to go. I could actually cut it now, but it's not in its best growth state. Let's actually hit it up right here. Let's see what we got. Okay, 67% grown. Alright, good to go. It doesn't, the fertilizer and stuff's not showing. That's interesting. But anyway, let's take a look at our field here, field 29. Again, there's our soil types. Here's our pH level, which is looking good now, good to go. And then our nitrogen level is looking good. Again, it's going to be different. The colors are going to be different because the crop, what the crop requires in that particular soil. So even though this is yellow, doesn't mean that's bad. Even though this field right here is not even close to those colors, it's not bad because this is cotton, and remember, cotton only requires like I think it was like 100 or 120, very low amount of nitrogen for cotton to grow. So there's that. And then one last thing I'm going to show you guys, because when I deleted the data from episode 2, when I deleted that data, I actually deleted the data for field 33. I actually clicked field 33 and then deleted the data. So I'm going to show you guys now that that data is there now. The only data that I actually lost was the soil sample data, which I know that number was 24. So even though I clearly in the last episode clicked L3 and erased this data while you guys were, I was recording, you guys saw it. I mean, you know, I even replayed it in this episode. It's still there. So I don't know. I have no idea about that, but I'm glad it's still there because I don't have to worry about that now. But anyway, I didn't mean to switch vehicles. But here we are. I need to take down my Christmas tree and my snowman. It's after the first of the year. I think it's actually January 3rd when I'm finishing up this video, so I didn't get it done by New Year's. But again, I want to wish a happy new year 2021 to everybody, and I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I'll check you guys later.